Time is 7:32. We'll shortly be joined by our special live guest on the programme. We'll be talking to John Otway, punk rock survival of the 70s. And, of course, we'll be dealing with the Trogs, a little bit about the Trogs, and perhaps even UFOs later in the show.
Right, well, let's start with a bit of John Otway music from the new CD, which has just come out, Premature Adulation. I tell you now that it's on amazing feet, and it's OTCD 4004. We'll play, I think I've got it right, track 8, Please Don't Read My Poetry, and then we'll talk to John.
And that, of course, was John Otway. Please Don't Read My Poetry. I'm very pleased we have John Otway on the programme. John, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Premature Adulation is the first album for 12 years?
Well, it's the first album of new songs, yes. They've taken a long time to write.
Of course, you were first capsulated into the punk rock limelight with Wild Willie Barrett, weren't you? Cool Baby, That's Really Free.
Yes, that's soared to number 27, I think 18 years ago.
And you've made a good living ever since?
Yes, I haven't had to do a sensible day's work.
What?
I mean, it's great what you can do with one small hit.
What? Just seriously, but I mean, that sort of mind a hit in a way, you know. I mean, what have you really been doing in between times? Tell me what you've been doing to make ends meet, effectively.
Basically, what happened was we picked up a very good live following after the hit. And basically, I've been going around singing my hit to them.
You're doing a medley of your hit?
Yes.
John, can we go actually right back to the start? Because I think, if I'm right, your first official release would have been about 72 on County Records, which was Gypsy. But how did you actually get interested in music, and what were your influences?
I was just, I think I was one of those kids at school that was just, the classroom show-off that would basically do anything to get attention.
Yeah.
I think I was basically one of those. Because I remember there was things I used to do, like drink bottles of ink in the school playground, because I knew that would guarantee an audience of 100. Or or sort of attempt to beat up the biggest bully in the school, because that would attract an audience of even more.
Mm.
So the funny thing was I wasn't very good at singing or playing, but it was an attempt to sort of, get an audience. But it's been stage struck, I suppose. And basically I had to learn to sort of sing and play, to satisfy that craving, really.
How did you manage? I mean, how did you manage? With Polydor Records, they gave you, which was a huge sum of money, £250,000, did you really manage to get through that much money in less than 2 months?
No, that's about 8 months.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. Not so bad
at all. No, I think I got it in sort of like January, and sort of like by the autumn as the leaves were falling. So we'll be all through my door.
Well, what did you do with the money?
We did quite a few stupid things. I mean, I went and did all the Starlight things, like buy Bentleys and things like that, and I couldn't drive, so I had to employ chauffeurs. And we did very expensive tours around the country. But the thing that probably cost most of the money was trying to crack America.
Right.
On my own, basically on my own, without sort of like really record company support.
In fact, before Polydor, you were very much into pressing the stuff up yourself, weren't you? Records like Viking. You had something you put out on Viking, which was a private pressing.
That's right. It wasn't really so much being into pressing my own records. It was more like other people not being into doing them and having no option. I was seriously delighted when Polydor gave us a deal, and certainly even more delighted when they gave us all that money.
Now, I expect you would be. Now, can I ask you, for our listeners' benefit, when people talk of private pressings, how many would actually be pressed up? Because I know that your first release and your third release, which were private pressings, are listed at something like £25, £30 each if you wanted to buy them now. So how many copies would have been done?
With the old vinyl things, you could really get as low as 250,
right,
500.
Yeah.
And it's quite different these days with CD, because you do need to do 1,000 before it's really worthwhile actually pressing something up yourself for any indie label. And I think they need to look at sales around about 1,000.
So you would have had something like 250 of your vinyl then?
Yes, that sort of thing, 250.
Right. Now, I must ask you a question, because I also have a note that Polydor put one of your singles out, which I think was Frightened and Scared, and an instrumental on the other side, which they rumoured were only 3 copies pressed. Is that actually true?
That's right. What we did was we did this we did this promotional idea, and the idea was you went and bought the single, and if when you got home you put the record on and it hadn't got my voice on, then you could ring this number, and I would come round to your house and stand between your stereo speakers and add the vocal line.
Yeah. And these 3 records actually went out then?
Yes, they went out, and it was very important both to me and to Polydor, because they were paying to send me out, that no more than 3 of these records existed.
Yeah, and
otherwise, if lots more turned up, but then they'd be ferrying me all over the place.
And did someone ring up and request a private performance?
Oh yes, we did 2 of them.
You did?
Good.
Yeah.
Well, the first one turned up in East Kilbride.
Oh no.
Yes, I probably had to fly me up to Scotland for that, so that was fun. Second one in South London, and the third one turned up at a private boarding school.
Well,
and the headmaster was not having punk rockers in his boarding school.
Well, so actually, the 3, you actually know in theory where those 3 records are?
In theory, yes, I do know somebody that tried to buy the third one, because obviously I hadn't sang for it, and so the offer still stood, and I think he was offering quite a lot of money for it, but the guy wouldn't sell, so I'm just still waiting for that phone call.
One more little story that I did hear when I was talking to a gentleman who's also in the record business, and I said, I've got John Otway coming on. He said, I want to tell you a little interesting story about John, that once he was trying to get a record deal, so he put it out on a major label and made it up and gave it a major label number, and they rang him up and put it out. Is that story true, or was I being wound up?
No, that's absolutely true. The company and title was WEA.
Right, tell us the whole story,
Go on.
John.
Well, what happened was that somebody at WEA, who remains nameless but is not, said that they happened to like a version of Jerusalem that I did.
Yeah.
Now, you know with major companies, if they're not back to you within a week, they're basically lost interest. So a week had gone by, and I really wanted them to put it out. It was just coming up to Christmas. So I just thought, is there a way of actually forcing them to put it out? And I came up with this theory that if you actually pressed off these WEA records, took them very quickly around Radio 1, telling Radio 1 what we were doing, and then presenting them to WEA with a contract, and actually signed WEA instead of them signing us.
What a marvellous idea.
What
They were
happened?
absolutely stunned. Suddenly on the desk one morning there was all these WEA records they'd never seen before in their life. And Radio 1 ringing them up thinking what a stunning idea this was. People making their own WEA records.
I think that is so original.
That's a brilliant thought, John.
That is brilliant.
Brilliant thought. Can I just tell you also a secret? You've got lots of other secrets, haven't you? I mean, you're the voice. Were you behind the I'm a secret lemonade drinker commercial?
I did the... There is several secret lemonade commercials.
Yes.
I did the one in the phone box.
Oh, yes.
Now, the one in the one coming down the stairs in the bedroom had been running for 17 years, right? And I got the follow-up, and people were telling me, "Look, don't worry, this is your pension fund. They're basically going to run this till you die, and all you've got to do is sort of stay at home and have checks come through the post to look after you into your old age." Mine ran for 7 months.
Oh. John, I've had one of the listeners actually has phoned up and wants a piece of information. His name's Ian, and he says that he's got a Live at the Roundhouse with a signed Christmas card. It says of John Otway as an angel. He wants to know, is it rare, valuable, difficult to get? Can you give me some information on that for him?
Yes, it is. It is quite rare, because I kept about a few copies back, and when I got broke, I sell them. What we did was, when Really Free got into the charts, there'd been a lot of people that helped me over that period of time, and me and Willie had done this concert at the Roundhouse, which we'd recorded. So we did 250 pressings of them, and we just did them as white labels, and then I just sort of like hand-wrote the labels on and numbered them, and we just sent it out to all the people that had helped us. And then we kept a few back for posterity. Now, most of the ones I'd kept back for posterity, I sold off to a friend in bulk, and his house burnt down. So, out of those 250, 100 went up in smoke in his loft. So there's basically only 150 of those kicking around.
And they all had Christmas cards with them then?
Yes, so I had Christmas cards, and I just sort of signed all the... hand-wrote all the labels to them.
Now, someone I must ask you about, because 2 names, whenever people talk about John Otway, they also immediately talk about Wild Willie Barrett. Tell us a little bit about him.
What nice things about him?
Yeah.
Yes, nice things,
yes.
John, yes.
We had a hit together, and then after, with this, what can I say apart from?
How did you?
One of those duos that.
How did you team up with him?
We both basically came from Aylesbury, and you know how in small towns you just tend to know everybody else that's playing music. In my case, trying to play music, but in Willie's case, playing very well. And you all start doing gigs together. You know, the ambitious ones tend to gravitate together.
Yeah.
And basically at that time, I think me and Willie were the sort of like the really ambitious sort of couple. So we basically got this act together, and it had more to do with geography than it did temperament. The reason the whole thing got together, and basically we sort of like got together and split up sort of 4 or 5 times by the time we'd had the hit. And then after the hit, we sort of like got together and split up again 4 or 5 more times after that.
How about your influences? I mean, am I right in saying that things like I Am the Walrus you did back not that long ago, and things, I think you also did The Green Grass of Home and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and I think you did record those tracks, didn't you?
Yes, well, there's always been sort of a large comedy element to this.
Right.
And there's always been that sort of rather tongue-in-cheek sort of view of other hits.
Yes.
And maybe looking at them in a humorous way, which nobody else has bothered to look at them, you know, before.
Right. And I mean, it just strikes me it's such a wide cross-section of music that you've been involved with, John, and I mean, such an interesting life. I mean, you've done 2,000, is it more than 2,000 gigs altogether?
Yeah, we did 2,000 gigs a year ago last November, and did a big sort of gig to celebrate it.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of not joking aside, I mean, you've actually your tickets on the black market at 3 or 4 times the price of the real price of them, don't they?
Yes, that was.
How did you manage it? I mean, the thing is, you've got this cult following, and from a hit number 27, right, you've actually got this amazing sort of subculture following, and you sell out everywhere, and obviously you've got a great marketing mind. I mean, where's it all originated from, John?
I really do think the school playground, when you were stage struck with not a great deal of talent, thinking, well, how do I become a star? And coming up with really quite intriguing, you know, ingenious solutions to the main problem.
I think the WEA thing's an absolute stunner. An amazing thing.
Oh, they're great. I mean, those sort of things are such good fun, especially when basically you get away with it.
Now, and of all these 2,000 gigs, there must have been some weird and wonderful places you played in, and some stories you can tell. Can you think of some of the places you went to? Any weird ones?
I mean, loads and loads. They do tend to blur. There's sort of like the odd wedding and things like that.
Do you do the headbutting thing still? You used to headbutt all the time.
That's right, yes.
The microphone. And...
Willie devised headbutts in 1981.
Right.
And it became horribly popular, and I've basically been forced to headbutt ever since.
Oh. Yes, I mean, do you find headbutting came naturally to you?
No, to start with, Willie had to hold my head firmly under his arm and smash it against the microphone.
Oh.
Yes, I mean...
Teach me how it went.
Yeah, I mean, and now, I mean, you're pretty good at headbutting now, are you?
Yes, well, I think so. I mean, I do notice when other people do it, they seem to hurt themselves more than me now.
Uh-huh.
John, you've just finished a mammoth tour around Britain already. I mean, I noticed recently in the papers you'd been up to places like my local, I think the Wheat Sheaf at Stoke-on-Trent, and you've just finished a tour. Now you've got a big night coming up tomorrow. Now tell us what's happening tomorrow, and then are you off around the country again?
Yes, we're doing the Astoria tomorrow.
Yeah,
and that's going exceptionally well. It's the premature adulation gig. It comes just 3 days before the album's released.
Yeah.
Has the album already sold out, John? That's the question. I mean, view what's gone before you. I mean, for all we know, it's already number 1. It's working well. I mean, I've heard you on the radio this week. You did Radio 4 at the beginning of the week, didn't you?
That's right, yes.
Yes, very good.
Oh, thank you.
I laughed and laughed and laughed when I heard that. But, I mean, obviously, tomorrow night, and the album's available everywhere on Monday, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. And then I've got a couple of weeks' holiday, and then I'm back gigging again.
Right, and how many gigs do you plan to do this time on your big, long tour?
Well, in some ways, I mean, apart from the odd couple of weeks breaks you have every so many years, it has been a sort of like this long 150 gig a year tour. that's gone on since about 1975.
I've just told you're a very sensible man. You always tie in your gigs. They always finish just as the school holidays start.
Yes, I just had to start. I've been told I have to start doing that now.
That's well, I won't argue with that, John.
John, thank you very much for coming on the programme. We've got to an advanced copy of the album in front of us. You're going to pick a track of it so I can actually play something of it. Premature Adulation is the name of the album.
Photograph.
Photograph?
Yes, you heard, I heard a wild track earlier. Have a wimp track now. Try Photograph.
All right, then. John, thank you very much, and I'm sure you don't need good luck with the tour. I'm so much sold out already.
Ah, thanks.
And there we have John Otway, and that's a track from his brand new album. You're tuned to The Record Collectors with Mike Adams and Chris Savory. The time is 6 minutes to 8 o'clock. If you've been trying to get through and our phones have been extremely busy,